Who won the toss?
High school boys.
High school won the toss. What do they do?
No. It was, sorry, Waikahu won the toss. The other team. High school boys should be kicking this way.
So Waikahu chose to receive?
Yeah, chose to play with the wind.
Well, then they'd be going this way, aren't they?
Yeah. So
Okay.
high school boys is kicking off towards the
Yeah,
intention.
sweet.
They're playing into the wind beat.
Yep.
Wind playing this way.
Yep. Waikahu won toss.
Good point.
Then
Was that a little bit stiff because I know
hey Fred, what would you Fred, what would you call this one?
Come on.
This wind, what would you call it?
Strong. You don't know.
Sal.
No. Sorry, I had a mess up. You joined?
Yeah, but I couldn't find the slide.
Alright, get up here, bro. We're fucking going live.
How's Damien's knee? Is it knackered?
Oh, yeah, actually, I haven't talked to him.
Damien.
Pirates was flying for right? No? Why am I the only one that's fucking They need to change the scorecard.
So this is High School Old Boys Waikahu. High School Old Boys Waikahu in this one, and that one there is the other. Sorry if that doesn't sound very scientific, other one.
Okay, put on here. Time off on the scorecard.
I'll stream this one.
Why not? Okay, I'm going to quit that. Hold on. I'm going to restart the continuing up.
Tell me when, lads.
Look, we will get there. This is a little bit hectic, bro, at the moment.
No worries.
But I will let you know. Can you see anything on there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. What is it? Yes or no?
Back.
Okay. Take full time off. Put on here and okay, cool. Now I can fucking do this. Really nice little place.
Oh, no, so far the other side of the field.
At the very least, if we can't for some reason get this microphone actually working, we're going to hear you through this microphone anyway. So.
You say when.
Feel free to help me out again.
Okay. USB stick. Okay. Still, Nathan, grab me that little audio kit over there. Little clear plastic case.
Fred, do they have a moment? Fred, do they have a moment of silence today or no?
There's one. Yep.
They had one over there because the lady over there was connected to OBN. I just wanted to know if they also had one. They do. Do you know who it's for? Why? Who's the moment for?
What?
Who? Oh. Oh, cool. When you're ready, lads.
What have you touched here?
Yep, that's Fozzie. Hey guys, he's a great man too. If you want to talk to him, he's awesome.
Right, you figure this out. And then when you're ready, go live. Bro, don't ask me, bro. Fuck's sake. You should know this stuff. This is your job.
Right.
Okay, you ready to hit your timer on here? When the ref closes. Our stream might be a little bit delayed, but get the timing right. Yeah?
No, stream deck's not on, Tom.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Gisborne Oval and welcome to High School Old Boys versus Waikahu on Tiny White Opening Day. And I'll tell you what, 2022, the Civil Project Solutions Premier Grade kicking off at the Oval. High School Old Boys, the home team, the blue and white hoops, a team, an historic team under Tamanui Hill again. Their powerful number 8 forward. First penalty there to High School Old Boys. A confidence builder. I'll tell you what, we've seen some very good rugby here already today. 16-0 Enterprise Cars OBM over Larshorn Ngarapa. That was a really good game, kick off the season. And here, High School Old Boys on attack. Now watch in the second row for Fletcher Scammell and Daniel Tamanui. These guys are going to lock today. Scammell is a very good ball winner, won a lot of good quality ball at representative level last year. And this massive Waikahu pack, they don't come any bigger. Believe me, they don't come any bigger. No score, early stages. High School Old Boys on attack with the first penalty. And they have the ball. High School Old Boys with the ball in hand looking good. Strong defence from Waikahu, as you'd expect. The defending champions. Some tough defence. That was Scammell with the ball away. So good play there from Fletcher Scammell. And High School Old Boys another penalty. The second penalty of the game. Isaac Hughes, match referee. Flanked on this near touch by Neville Barwick and on the other by Les Thomas. Referee Hughes wants a good start here on opening day. So High School Old Boys with a couple of early penalties. And the throw, their second throw. They should be able to win their own line-out ball. Look at Chad Broughton there in the middle of the line-out, or near the front of the line-out. He's in the line-out. High School Old Boys to throw. Mike Waterson. Waterson should look deep. Got to look deep. Got to do it. Goes to the middle. It was overthrown. The throw wasn't straight. Waikahu with the first scrum feed. Waikahu with that power at the loose head scrummage and feed. Power up front. Jared Broughton, Toru Nono, and Matikaro Maguire, affectionately known as Mutts. Waikahu's front row. First scrum of the season. It is midnight at Monster Mansion. So Waikahu with the scrum feed. Still no score, defensive scrum. Over there to player coach Calvin Smith. There with a long boot towards halfway. The ball stops. Stops hard. And Waikahu now to put some pressure here on High School Old Boys. Have some pace to run from the back. Corey Dayhunter, a fullback today for High School Old Boys. Now in shot, coming into shot, Toru Nono is a big man. Can you see Toru Nono, number 1? But he's nothing compared with the man behind him, Jared Broughton in 24. Wow. Throw High School Old Boys. Thrown the ball in 3 times to date, or they will have on this. Got to try and throw flat, really, on a day like today with a blustery wind. And there it's gone off centre. Referee Hughes is allowing play to continue. Tamanui Hill! Tamanui Hill there, good strong charge. Tamanui couple of metres there and push back round about 10 metres short of halfway. High School Old Boys captain wants to make his presence felt.
Zach Waterson stumbling around about 12 metres short of the halfway mark. Still no score. Oh, and that's Mario Council, captain of Waikahu, coming through from an onside position. That's the sort of hit you can make from an onside position. Waikahu still tackling. High School Old Boys retain the ball. This is now a third phase ball. These big forwards from High School Old Boys starting to run forward and straight and hard. Penalty Waikahu. First penalty Waikahu in the attacking half. No score. You know what they've got to do really here, High School Old Boys, is they've got to be flexible. They've got to give and they've got to bounce back. Very hard to be a brick wall against what Waikahu can throw at it. No castle's unbreakable. Here at the Oval, marvellous day for rugby, the national game, an exciting game, the defending champions. Look at Les Thomas over there. He's stretched his legs at junior level this season, and we are very, very lucky to have such a committed group of referees. The Poverty Bay Rugby Referees Association have this season shown great loyalty to the game and made themselves available. Isaac Hughes in the middle. On that far side, Les Thomas. Here, Neville Barwick. Isaac Hughes there with a little whistle. He has a little whistle, so they tell me. So the throw to come, Waikahu on attack. Dangerous from this position on the field. Line out far side. They've lost the ball forward off the hands. Ball goes loose. No advantage at Cruz. Look at that, High School Old Boys there in for a textbook tackle. See that there? Fletcher Scavel in to make a textbook tackle. Still no score. High School Old Boys feed. Man, he looks at Fletcher. He's keen. Special feeling about this game here at the Oval today. There's a lot at stake. Tiny White, one of the country's greatest All Blacks. The late Richard Tiny White, formerly Mayor of Gisborne, for so many years associated with the intellectually handicapped and drives on their behalf. Look at that big scrum there from Waikahu. The heebie-jeebies. Waikahu, big push at the scrum. Okay, that was the dummy, and he's in. Well, if that's Calvin Smith, it's good stuff. And I tell you what, that doesn't surprise me at all. These guys are dangerous. They are quick. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Waikahu with the first try. Calvin Smith it is. The man who led Waikahu to the Lee Brothers Shield final. Won it last. Well, what's the ruling here? What has he ruled here? No try. Well, we don't say controversial, we say it's an amazing decision. So no try, no score, 0-0. High School Old Boys, a reprieve. Isaac Hughes there. Rules no try. Almost everyone here believed it to be a try. So High School Old Boys, they breathe deeply. The ruling there must have come from the sideline, I would imagine. That far touch. Waikohu throw. Matikairo Maguire. Could go for Rutene. Adrian Wyrell, a powerful forward. Not so often noted for his line-out work, but a very strong all-round forward. Waikohu throw, and that one there is a little off-centre again. Got to throw low and flat on a day like this. It's a windy day, blustery wind. Waikahu have it in the first half. Oh, big shoulder there. Was that Tamanui Hill with the ball in hand? High School Old Boys, good drive here. Just got to get over the advantage line. Remember, they're playing into the wind. They may have turned the ball over, no, on the High School Old Boys side. Sometimes you've just got to suck it up and take what comes. Take your medicine, as they say. Still no score, remember. Whoa, dangerous pass! Not the sort of pass you normally throw in your own 22, but this is Tiny White opening day, and all things are possible. You're not going to play conservative rugby on Tiny White opening day. I tell you what, I've missed it. There's nothing like the sound of your own voice. It's almost intoxicating. So no score here. The Gisborne Oval, and the Oval has rarely looked better. It is in fantastic condition. Sedemaya Bavai over here on this left wing, the bearded Bavai, threatening all sorts of mayhem. He's got some gas. Another line out. These line outs have been a bit of a problem. You've got to throw low and flat, generally to the front on such a windy day. High school old boys with the throw. Yeah, that's much better, and better tactically too. Got the ball in quickly. High school old boys down that blind side working hard. They haven't had much opportunity to show what they can do on attack. Maybe this is it. Maybe even though they're on their own side of halfway by 12 metres, maybe this is it. That's unfortunate for them into touch. Roy Horo, full back for our Waikahu coming up. Jacob Leaf there with a boot. Jacob Leaf with a boot to ball. And there's another ball on the field at the moment. High school old boys under pressure, just outside their own goal. Well, okay, touchdown. Sometimes you're going to get that in this community. The odd rugby ball, odd foreign ball, if you will, finds its way out onto the field. But the only solution would be to take all the balls off the kids at the ground, and obviously you can't really do that. So no score. High school old boys to restart. Better think seriously about this. Boot to ball, still no score in the game, no points. That's Wyrell. Wyrell, good strong run. Man, he's powerful. He is powerful. Waikahu setting up here and looking strong over there on that wing. Got Casey Wilson. Lost the ball forward there, Waikahu. The even-tempered Isaac Hughes. And referees are very thin on the ground these days. Had the best of the best injured, unfortunately, during the week. It's Damien McPherson, but we still have Isaac Hughes. We still have Leas Thomas. We've still got Fred Barwick, Neville Barwick. Earlier on, help from the coast came. Had Troy Potter Sr. and also Jackson Reuben Swinton. So they come out of the woodwork to help their Poverty Bay brothers. No score. Waikahu look to put the squeeze on high school old boys here. It's a really big scrum battle, an important one for them to win. The penalty goes to high school old boys. Once again, one of those rogue balls is on the field. And, okay, another, well, this is a try here. And then Smith, and remember, it took about 10 or 15 seconds for the last one to be ruled out. That's going to count. So Smith across, 5-0.
Is that home or is that where home or who scored the try?
Oh, the home team scored the try. But the home team is this one. Oh, no, sorry. That's the home team. That's the home team. High school old boys is that blue team.
So that goes away to so you're away. So that's about 5, right?
This is Calvin Smith. This for 7-0. I'm still trying to figure out what was wrong with that first try. This is going to be 7-0. 7-0 there, Calvin Smith. Poverty Bay captain. And I tell you what, class act all round. These two teams here, they are capable of playing some very good rugby. And you'll find that more guys will join the sides, I'm sure, the clubs throughout the season. Sometimes they can be a little shy, but they come around to rugby eventually. So Waikahu with a try and conversion, that first one, Calvin Smith, who I thought was going to be credited with the first try of the match earlier in the first half. 7-0. Restart of play. That's our Corey Reihana, the fullback with the restart of play. Waikohu have the ball. They have secured it. To see some of their big boppers really get going, you'll know when they do. Oh, there's the biggest of them. Jared Borden goes straight through. High school old boys getting back and make their tackles there gutsily. That was Trent Prophet. Jacob Leaf juggles the ball, doesn't lose it forward. Good hard run from Broughton, his first run. Did that go forward on the ground? High school old boys have the ball. That's Maguire, Tane Maguire wearing 23, I think. Is that Maguire there wearing 23? It's outside centre, so in theory that's 13, but today it's 23. Sometimes these jerseys are given out according to the size of players. Sometimes guys don't necessarily fit a certain number. Bavai over here in 11 can go, and I mean go. He's on the left wing, wearing 14, but he is on the left wing. Fullback Roy Horo up in the line. Tane Maguire, the more experienced player, waving him back. He's keen though, isn't he, the young fullback? Okay, Waikahu have won the line out, and they're running now. Alvin Smith into the middle, that's James Rutene. Good play by Rutene, good gain in ground for Waikahu. Leading by 7 points. Is that Wirral again? It looked like Wirral. It was Wirral. Oh, and Jared Broughton again! And again it throws that flick pass. Sometimes you need to keep things simple. And a man of that stature only needs to keep it simple. Moment 7-0. My God. Coming through next to that ruck. 7-0. Tane Maguire. Haven't seen the youngster Roy Horo before. Interested to see what he does when he gets the ball. Corey Dehana, we've seen a lot of over the years. He's a talent. Matt Naden, second 5 out there. Good young player. And outside him, Von Huata. Corey Love, first 5, Scott Talent at halfback. He told me that he wanted to use the season to build his confidence up, find some form. Salisi Nuval, Mike Waterson, James Jenkins. So these players, frankly, know the game better than any commentator, but the fact is, on a day like this, if the throws are flat and the throws are quick, the ball doesn't run off beam. The deeper you try to throw the ball, the more chance of something going wrong. Scott Tell at the feed. High school old boys have been under pressure territorially in this the first half to date. Okay, that looks like a golden oldie scrum. That seems to be what they've gone to. Loose ball situation, high school old boys, they go back to go forward. They go back to go forward, just on their 22, around about 3 metres in from the far touch. Trailing by 7 at the moment. Isaac Hughes trying to keep Waikahu on side. High school old boys don't lack for brave runners. You'll get that out of Tamanui Hill and Jenkins and company. Good strong stuff here from the high school old boys forwards, but they also don't want to be too high in terms of body position. The higher you are, the easier you are to hold up. Penalty now, high school old boys. One of those techniques I wonder if their forwards have practiced during the week is to try and get as low as possible, as quickly as possible. Don't let the big guys smother you. High school old boys look for touch on this side, on this far side. Trailing by 7. Have options to find the line on line kicks with both left foot and right foot. 7-0. Calvin Smith the try and conversion. Bavai on this left wing wearing 14. Jacob Leaf is a very good stepper. He's an artist. There in 5 in the back line is Tulsa Cowie. And Waikahu run. Smith there with a short ball. And running backwards with the ball now is James Rutene. Rutene straightens up. He did well. He's made a couple of good runs early in the first half. James Rutene playing the game with vim and vigour. Jacob Leaf now can dance. Jacob Leaf, the last dance. Caught there, a very good tackle by Matt Naden. Down low. Nice tackle there by the youngster. Okay, and here's Tane Maguire coming round the mountain. Loose ball. Shoe went flying. Shoe. High school old boys player without a shoe. And at the moment, 7-0. They're under pressure in their own in-goal area. And they've got to ground the ball. To be honest, you don't really want to do that. I know you'd like the ball to go dead, but if you take that risk, letting the ball bobble around in goal, there's a chance the opposite. It was Tane Maguire's shoe. Went flying out of that ruck. With forwards, it's headgear. With backs, it's boots. 7-0. Roy Horo brought in there, number 24. I've talked to a lot of people who've been watching local rugby for a long time, and they're all unanimous. They'd never seen a a bigger man on the field. Scott Taylor with ball in hand. Exciting game today. Scotty feeds a scrum. Look at the big push. Oh, big push. And the boot, the underside. And the try is awarded there to Waikahu. Well, is it awarded there to Waikahu? Yes, it is. Okay, Waikahu have been awarded a try, so excellent follow-up play by Waikahu. That's amazing stuff. Once again, ball was loose. One of the high school old boys players, I think, tried to kick the ball dead. Waikahu chased. You play to the whistle, as they say, and that's why they're now up by 12 points. And the score is 12-0. You see some interesting things in modern rugby. It's not as simple a game as it was. Although the general rule of thumb is, if the ball's in your own end goal area, you need to get it to touch, and quickly. 12-0 at the moment, 2 tries. Calvin Smith with a second conversion attempt. And he converts for 14-0. Sometimes things happen on the field and you can hardly believe what you're seeing. You look at that and you shake your head and say, no, that cannot have happened. Well, it just happened. So it's 14-0, and it is Waikahu with 2 tries, 2 conversions. An entertaining piece of rugby. You can grizzle about the errors and all the rest if you want to, but entertaining rugby, 14-0. Two tries, 2 conversions. High school old boys starting the game effectively 2 tries behind. This is Corey Dehana with that lovely left foot. That ball to hang up there. Okay, goes long instead. Ball in the hands of Wairau, comes down the right touch. Good strong run. Waikahu's forwards, they're in sync today. Running strongly, good high school old boys defence as well. Good determined defence. Got to make those first up tackles. Got to make those first up tackles count. You've got to make them. Waikahu line up across the face. Oh, lovely pass there by Maguire to Horo. Horo for Babai. Horo! Horo there, Babai on his outside. Down this left touch. Might he have scored, we'll never know. And the ball is loose, the forwards. Oh, the forwards. 14-0. They had an opportunity for a moment there. Horo down the touchline. Bavai looming up on his left. Sometimes it's about communication at times. Waikahu there showing a lot of promise. Calvin Smith, though, encouraging his man Horo. No point growling at these people. They're going to get better and better throughout the season. Adrian Wairau, magnificent forward. And Tamanui Hill, nobody tries harder than Tamanui Hill. He hits like a hammer. High school old boys have fed the scrum on a number of occasions, but they've been pretty much landlocked in their own half. Another big scrum from Waikahu. Scott Tallett will have a crack. Tallett there with a fend at Wairau. Wairau gets to him. That is a very good, disciplined piece of defence from Adrian Wairau. It was a classic ball and all tackle. Very good up top. That's a fine piece of rugby. Matikato Maguire with Broughton at the back. Will it be Wairau? Okay, they go to 2, win, good ball again, and the ball is loose, a tough one. Here's a Mario Council, the captain, catch me if you can. Strong stuff, and Kupu Lloyd, I think scored that second try, I'm not sure. I'll have to check later on. At the moment, 14-0, 2 tries, both converted by their captain Calvin Smith. They blow over, as they say in the modern game. Okay, and over here to the right-hand side, Waikahu with boot to ball, the box kick. May take a long roll and it's gone dead, so the kick certainly going too far, and a reprieve there. Okay, the rules have changed now, yes, to a degree. There's still no time or place on earth we can kick it dead like that and get away with it. So 14-0. Game been played at good pace and in the right spirit so far. It's been a really good game of rugby. Tough. Got to be tough when you look at the size of the people involved. Scrum at halfway. High school old boys. Mike Waterson, James Jenkins, Salesi Nuval. High school old boys have got to get into the Waikahu half. I think they've been in the Waikahu half only once. Perhaps twice, but I think not. There's Thomas prowling the sideline over there. Our assistant referee, Fred Barwick, scuttling down the sideline here. 14-0. 2 converted tries. The second one was would have come as the shock of that player's life. Kupu Lloyd if it was him. Another big scrum from Waikahu. Talent. Got the ball away to Corey Love. Love over the head of Roy Horo. Roy Horo recovers. Roy Horo there with boot to ball. And Talent on the sideline. Great hands here. Away from Bavai. Bavai stays with him. And the ball goes down and it goes forward, unfortunately. Von Huata. Talent did well over there and Bavai stuck to him. That's classic rugby football. Great catch and good clean tackle. That's what this game's all about. Look at Waterson. Jenkins is, well, Waterson's got to be in the middle there, surely. But he's wearing a different number. Mario Council, he's done some good things. He's dodged away from a few forwards. Still 14-0, remember, 2 converted tries. High school, whoa, look at Scott Taylor, wants the ball. He wants the ball, wants the ball out. It's Corey Dayhunter over there as the ball. Well, that hits the flag, and now they're going to ask the question of the referee, well, okay, kick from this side to that side, but that hit the flag itself. And there's nobody on earth that knows all the law. 14-0, the game has been played at a good pace. You'll see where they are fitness-wise probably in the last 20 minutes of the second half of play. You'll want a deep bench then. Reserves bench, as they say. Tane Maguire has put the step on once. Horo up in the back line. Really wants a piece of the action. So keen, as all youngsters are. Had a couple of opportunities to run. Isaac Hughes is the meat in the sandwich. Isaac there between, whoa! Isaac there in between the Waikahu forwards. That big high school old boys line out there. Good drive here by Waikahu. They do the basics well. The referee's hand is upraised to signal to the high school old boys players to stay on side. Now penalty here. Penalty awarded to high school old boys. He comes across as being a fairly calm character these days, Isaac Hughes. As with players, he's improved a great deal over the years. He was well tutored. Likes of Royce Maynard and Hamish Campbell worked really well with him, and I know he appreciated it. These guys are a good bunch, these referees. Work hard for the game. Hard as any player. And just like clubs, they work very hard to get their numbers up and keep them up. Throw to come from high school old boys. Should the wind die down a little, they'll have different line-out options. But for the moment, I would have thought short and flat would be the way to go. I would have thought. And that's towards the middle. That's a good take. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, boot to ball over halfway. Horo there underneath it. Great hands from the young man, and now he puts boot to ball. A kick is only as good as the chase which follows. Came through there, Horo, and forced another kick. Okay, now, whoa, between the legs, the old figure 8 dribble. The old figure 8 basketball dribble. I must admit to wondering what's happened here, because the Waikahu player actually had the ball. Okay, Mario Council Mario's fantastic player, Mario. Lovely guy to be around. Positive teammate, club man. Waikahu scrum is stable. That's a marvellous platform from which to mount an attack. Jacob Leaf there with boot to ball. Okay, and there are some excellent hands over there by, I believe, Isaiah Lemua. One or two of these guys make our lives harder by wearing numbers opposite. Isaiah Lemua wearing 11. That's Jacob Leaf there, and he holds on to the ball. He gets the pass away. Sometimes you've just got to hang on to the ball. Waikahu with lots of hands, and Broughton in the corner. Oh, good grief! Broughton in the corner. And finishing off, a move in the outside backs, the very last place on earth. You would have imagined the big guy getting across, but you know what that tells me? It tells me that the big guy has worked very hard and he is getting around the field, because he popped up there in the chain and finished in the corner, and with no small style. So at the moment, well, 19 points to 0, 3 tries, 2 conversions, 19 to 0. And Broughton in the corner. Not under the bar, not through 8 men, but fleet of foot in the right corner. 19-0. He's dispensed with the tee here, or has he? Is that Calvin Smith over there? He's going to take the shot. Game well attended here, and I think the fans of these clubs need to appreciate this. Is wonderful. We have rugby back. Rugby is back. No limit on crowds. Don't have to have some character dancing around with pen and paper. You know, we have no limit on crowds, and people are loving the national game. Sometimes you don't know what you've got till you've lost it. People appreciating their rugby more and more, their clubs, which I think is a good thing. 19-0. Calvin, got to get the height and start on the right. Height is right. Got to start outside that right post. If he does, he'll make it. Well, obviously not. Still 19-0. Well, seen some entertaining rugby to date. Some rugby played at a good pace. Forwards and backs involved, and interplay between backs and forwards. Now, there is an old quote, I can't remember who it was that told me about it a year or so ago, that the forwards decide who wins the game and the backs decide by how many points. I'm not quite sure who it was that told me that, but there's a ring of truth to it. 19-0. Now, I'm enjoying myself. The game has been well controlled, well officiated. Goes long now, Corey. Ball hangs up in the air. Strong forwards of Waikahu, they're fearless. Mind you, when you're that big, what should you be scared of? That's Jacob Leaf. Away to Horo. Roy Horo, good pace. Throws the dummy. Isaiah Lemore gets a shoulder to him. He's onside. And the bodies pile up. Bodies starting to pile up. Okay, that's Mario Council, head hard. Scotty gives him a pat on the back. Calvin Smith, what can he work from here? What wonder can he work? Calvin Smith with a long bounce here. That's a brilliant kick at the moment. Doesn't find touch. Oh, wow. Gee, that's a marvellous kick. I got to admit to still wondering exactly why the change to the law was made, but a brilliant result there for Waikahu and Calvin Smith. It's a fantastic kick. Get the throw back. Okay, good play here from Waikahu. Don't tell me that the throw isn't straight. That would be unbearable after such a good kick for touch. Isaac Hughes. Tell you what, it's just neat to be at rugby, I'm telling you. It's neat to be back. Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby. Josh Willoughby and the Poverty Bay Rugby Football Union, they've done a good job of laying this on. Events very well organised as always. Waikahu coming around to the left here, going open side. And Jared Broughton again. They brought him down short of the line. Good defence by High School Old Boys. They're gutsy, they're hanging on for dear life. What they call pride in the line. Penalty Waikahu. They've surely got to tap and run. Well, no, they don't surely have to do anything. Scrum Waikahu. Try and push these guys across. And remember too, that they can do that. Big guys, big front row. So far in terms of territory, it's been predominantly Waikahu, obviously. They've scored 3 first half tries, converted 2 of them for 19 points to 0. Haven't yet seen what the high school old boys backs are capable of. They haven't had ball. Okay, and the big scrum here from Waikahu. And they get across. Imagine that's Tristan Morton, the 8-man getting across. And that there makes it 24 points to 0. 24-0. Four tries. $24 points to 0. $24-0 at the moment, this for 26-0. Waikahu have dominated field position, and it's been very difficult for high school old boys to get into the game. 26-0. Okay. Some days are sent to test you, and for high school old boys this would seem to be that day. Reserve players coming onto the field of play now. Now I do wonder if that's Philip Kutsa or not. Corey Rehana from halfway. Okay, this time with height. Has it floated too far? Ball takes a bounce into touch. Okay, so now Waikahu scrum. It is warm here. Waikahu feed, Waikahu scrum, Waikahu up 26-0. Tiny wide opening day in 2022 at the Gisborne Oval. Calvin Smith has the ball, runs. Short pass there for Jacob Leaf. Good defence by high school old boys. Defence is good. That's Adrian Wirral now running like a horse. Adrian Wirral up to Corey Rehana. They went a little high on Adrian Wirral, and he's so strong in the upper body, hard to bring him down. Here's Bavai down the sideline, and Bavai has wheels, there's no question about that. Sedemaya Bavai with their 5th try. That's now 31 points to 0. And this has been a very impressive start to the season from the defending champions. One thing to have the Lee Brothers Shield, another thing to come out in the first game of the following season and play well. 2 entirely different things. So 31 points to 0, no conversion attempt yet. 31-0. And this for, well, who's taking, Jacob Leaf's taking the shot. Calvin Smith will allow him to take a shot. So 31-0 at the moment. High school old boys have a young back line that I think if they get the ball, they could be interesting to watch, but they just simply haven't had a touch. Jacob Leaf. This one for 33. 33-0 at halftime. It has been all Waikohu. High school old boys have been brave. They've made some first up tackles, but it gets harder the longer that a sequence runs. At the moment, 33 points to 0. Some good rugby from the defending champions. They've been strong. No dirt, nothing silly. A really good game of rugby, well controlled by Isaac Smith. or Isaac Hughes rather, he sets the tone there. And at the moment, it is a big scoreline of 33 points to 0. Mr. Naden, it's Pat.
Under advantage. Scott Talent scrapping over there. He's trying hard over here. James Ruteni on this side of the ground is injured, and the referee, Mr. Thomas, has called a stop to it. Looks to be an ankle or a foot. Now, this is not one of these situations where a dozen people run and sorts of other nonsense. Player is definitely injured. Don't need anybody running out there with drink bottles. They'll attend to the player who's injured. And I don't really understand.
Exactly. Okay, 33-0 as we stop. Won't be one of those interminable breaks. 33-0. Well, it's Ruteni, and he's played a good, honest game so far. Les Thomas was adjusting his microphone earlier, taking the place of Isaac Hughes. Will he carry on? He'll leave the field. So James Ruteni about to leave the field. Well, he is leaving the field, literally. He played a good first half. That's a shame, really. These things happen. 33-0. High School Old Boys fairly well obviously on the defensive in that first half, but they did make some strong tackles. They never shied off a tackle. Once or twice perhaps they were a little high, but they never stopped tackling. They chased hard. Gutsy stuff. Waikahu have some big forwards and some big forward reserves too. I can only imagine that James Ruteni was an ankle, I would think. High School Old Boys, loose head scrummage and feed, Scott Talent. And he's been very busy. High School Old Boys scrum. Okay, good scrum this time by High School Old Boys. That was a very good scrum by the Blue and Whites. Now they've got to stay in control of it. That's Corey Downer. Ball will take a bounce. Well, the ball has now bounced over the head of Casey Wilson. High School Old Boys trying to blow over. They have it, they have it. Whoa, the loose ball behind two Waikahu players and in front of another. Here now is Calvin Smith. Right man in the right place at the right time to spark a counter-attack. He's always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. 33-0. High School Old Boys with a very, very good start scrum-wise to this, the second half. It can't be easy. But everything worth fighting for in life, you fight for. That's what they're doing. Committing themselves. Fletcher Scammell, a tower of strength there in the line out. Can he get up for them? Will it be him? It's going to be Fletcher. It was always going to be Fletcher Scammell. Taylor drags it down. Tamanui Hill with a short ball. High School Old Boys spirited rugby here. They didn't have a lot of ball in the first half. Now they've got the ball, they can show what they can do next. High School Old Boys with the ball and a chance to attack. But they're going sideways and they have to stop and start again. They have momentum for a moment, for a fleeting instant. High School Old Boys, ball in hand. Third, fourth phase ball, good win at the line out. Don't forget how it started. Fletcher Scammell in set piece. And penalty now, High School Old Boys. Les Thomas. Referee Thomas. You talk about a servant of the game. The guys that we have blowing the whistle are immensely loyal servants of the game. Wonderful. How about Fletcher there soaring there to catch that ball? Wowee. High School Old Boys, what a difference it made. They're just having a little bit of ball, whether it be scrum ball, line out ball, anything. Still 33-0. But now they're on attack again, playing with the wind in the second half. Over there in that right corner, pushing down that sideline. And they have line out ball again. A brighter, breezier start here in the second half. High School Old Boys going hard. They're almost in the referee Thomas. Short of the line. They continue. They came very close to scoring then. High School Old Boys have battled and battled hard. They don't want to lose it right on the goal line, not on the try line. You don't want to turn it over there. That is obviously as close as High School Old Boys have come to scoring. This game had a strange start. Waikohu throw. Okay, loose ball again. Mario Council bravely down the blind side. Was a very little blind side. He was very, very brave. It looks to be Broughton. And he bulks up. Broughton now again and again. High School Old Boys smother Broughton like a blanket. Okay, loose ball again. Gee, that's some wonderful hands there from Jacob Leaf. And Tane Maguire away to Wilson down the sideline. Casey Wilson, he's coming strongly. Casey Wilson, such a powerfully built guy, like a brick lavatory. And Waikahu with the ball continues. It's going to Nor. The kick to the far wing for Bavai. Bavai steaming across down the sideline. That Bavai can move. Good Lord. Built low to the ground. 33-0. Waikohu. 1 minute, they're under pressure at their own end. Within seconds, they're down the other end and meaning business. 33-0. High School Old Boys have got to try and hold Waikahu here. Got to win their own line-out ball, get down the other end of the park. Can do nothing at your own end. 33-0. Waikohu, some pressure on him there. That Corey loved to touch. Now is not the time to start walking if you're a player out there, particularly if you're in blue and white. You've got to keep going. When the tummy hurts. $33-0. Okay, throw. Brilliantly taken, I think, by Wyrell. Waikohu on the drive here. Haven't seen much of Waikohu on the line-out drive, but we see it here now, and they can do it. Maybe they're a little tall there. Well, they're very tall at the moment. It breaks down. Calvin Smith gets the ball over to Horo. Here is the fullback for Waikahu, Roy Horo. Young guy, brave. Looks almost, well, is that a line out these days? I mean, did you see it? I mean, did you see it? Oh, boy. Mike Tupai. He'll try anything. Well, necessity is the mother of invention. Then you saw Mike Tupai there down the sideline. Get away with what you can get away with in this game. 33-0. Long as it puts a smile on somebody's face. Throw to come from Waterson. Waterson to throw the ball into play. Had an excellent crowd here. All up today, I'd imagine that you would have had at least 2,500 people here along the sidelines. Remember, we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 sidelines. A lot of rugby, Senior 1 rugby, very good today, of a very good standard. Okay, and they've won the line out there, high school old boys. Battling hard, fighting for every inch of ground. High school old boys are not prepared to just give it away, and that's Broughton going through the middle. Stuff bad dreams are made of. Okay, and here is Maguire in good position. Maguire, the creative Maguire, with that step, boot to ball. Did he do that with the left foot? That's amazing. That's a Lemur. And I think Corey Rehana. Here's KC Wilson. Man, is he big. He's strong. Comes hard, goes straight. Imagine tackling that. Good, strong stuff there from him. Now Maguire there with a lovely pass to Bavai. Bavai boot to ball. Bavai more renowned for his finishing as opposed to chip and chase. Tane Maguire has popped up on 2 or 3 occasions in this game with a lovely flat pass. But none of them have been forward passes. They've all been very, very good passes. I'll say something about Roy Horo, this Waikahu fullback. He is guts personified. He's a tiny guy, plays with a lot of heart, and is fearless. Alderson. This line out is taking a long time to happen. Ball thrown in. More line out ball for high school old boys, and referee Thomas rules that the throw wasn't straight. Those are the ones that hurt you. Those are what you might call the 50-50s, that you're just hoping, gee, I hope the referee sees it my way. You know, not a try in the corner or anything like that, but you're just hoping that that might get past. $33-0, but no addition to the halftime score. That in itself says that the high school old boys guys have continued to tackle. Now, is that a scrum penalty? A big blast on the whistle there from referee Liz Thomas. Behind us, Young Māori Party versus Pirates. Earlier on, I believe OBM dispatched Ngātapa 16-0, my understanding. Enterprise Cars OBM playing fine rugby, overcoming last on Ngātapa. What for OBM was a home game on Tiny White opening day at the Great Oval. The scrum now is taking a long time to set. Now that looks like Golden Oldie scrum to me. Okay, over the head of Horo here. Now Tane Maguire playing fullback, building it up from the back, counter attack. They're there. Strong stuff from Tane Maguire. Penalty now, high school old boys. Guys are hurt. Guys are down. Physical game. Very clean, but hell of a hard. KC Wilson going to bring it back on the hoof. Ball takes a bounce there over the sideline. Smart thinking there from high school old boys. They've got to try and strike, you know, while the cat's away, really. Don't want to go toe-to-toe with Waikahu and get the ball in behind Waikahu, turn them around. These guys on the front foot, obviously, they're close to unstoppable, and that's exactly why high school old boys have to turn them around, shift the ball. Don't want to go toe-to-toe with Primo Canera, doubt about that. So throw to come. Jeff Parry's on the field. No finer gentleman in all of rugby. Jeff Parry to throw the ball into play. That's for Adrian Wirral. Good contest at the, wow, that was number 16, Philip Kutza. The unsuspecting Philip Kutza. He's got talent. Strong stuff here, and High School Old Boys forwards doing well here. Confrontational, Tamanu. Oh, Jared Broughton there with a shoulder. Hit there. It can't have been Fletcher Scammell. If it was, he would have felt the Tamanui Hill there with a good, strong surge. Surge there from the High School Old Boys captain. What a try, just one. Okay, that pass was made very quickly. That pass was made very quickly. Jeff Parry to make the throw. Now, I was given Salisi Nuavau number 1, and I'm pretty sure that's not Salisi Nuavau. Jeff Parry has it, coming around to the, runs into his shoulder there, and a big one from Salisi Nuavau himself, the man himself. 33-0. High School Old Boys forwards have not backed off, but they long pass, a floater over there in the direction of Bavai. Can they get the ball to him? Certainly trying hard. High School Old Boys hanging on like grim death. 33-0 still. Ball through the hands. Waikahu with numbers out here. 3 guys. 2 of whom are unlikely in terms of this position on the field. Okay, it's messy now. It's messy rugby. It's awfully scrappy. Without any sort of... Oh, Jeff Parry there. Shoulders. Saw the ponytail of Jeff there bounce about. So, Rehana boots a ball with the wind. Went backwards there off Tanya. Whoa, surely can't rule it. Went forward from there. No, Les Thomas, of course not. Rules penalty there to High School Old Boys. That would have been a long distance call in terms of going forward. Tane Maguire, I love the way he plays the game. He's exciting. He's always looking to shift the ball. Creative, just a class player, frankly. Isaiah Lamar's got a few touches, made some tackles. It's what you want as a young player in the Premier Grade. And guys in the Premier Grade, I'm fairly sure, are younger these days than oft times they used to be. You just want to come off the field of play and tell mum and dad, I made some tackles. I made a couple of runs. I got on. I got on the field. Did you touch the ball, son? Yes, I touched the ball. You just feel like you contributed something in what you know is going to be a tough year. I don't think there's a higher honour in rugby than to give your guts for a team that you know is going to have to work very hard. High School Old Boys battling here. They're down at the moment by 33 points. Waikahu have the ball. They have the... Okay, High School Old Boys the throw. Toru no, what's he signaling there? Subs. Salesi Nerval's played powerfully. He is a very big guy. Strong build. Trent Prophet limping. I can understand that. He gives a great deal of himself. High School Old Boys, that was talent. Powerful stuff there. Was that Mike Tane? Okay, and now with some room to move here. Lovely pass there from Wyrell over the head. Well, it seemed to go over the head there of, was it Waterson or what? Matt Naden in 12. High School Old Boys, a sequence of 3 straight championships. Waikahu have won the last 2 titles. OBM got in 3 years ago. I have really enjoyed this tiny wide opening day, and I had the rare privilege, and it was a privilege, to interview the late Mr. White many years ago, and he thought it was a fantastic concept. He really enjoyed it. He loved it. It was a huge honour to meet him and to see his name put on this day, first day of the Premier Grade Club rugby season. Jacob Leaf there, getting the pass away. Not a good ball, that's Horo. Horo has been remarkable today. His courage, he's popped up in some unusual places. Is that Wyrell again, 33-0. This has been a much stronger defensive effort in the second half. That was Toru Nono in the second half from High School Old Boys. You look at a scoreline like that, 33-0, if you had less character, you would have given up. In no way have they. guys have continued to try and tackle hard. And the wind plays a part. That's not an excuse. It plays a part. They've used it to good effect. Their error rate in the second half has been pretty good. Les Thomas, we had a change of referee at half time. Isaac Hughes had a good first half, and Les Thomas has been fine in the second half. Very enjoyable, positive rugby. Scott Talent feeds the scrum. Push on there from Waikohu. Under there with boot to ball. And Horo there in good position. I think he's been very good. That's Maguire getting the pass back to Horo. And he is light there, man. I don't doubt for a minute that Horo is the lightest player on the field. No doubt in my mind. There are some real super heavyweights out there. It's not the size of the night and the fight, the size of the fight and the night, so they say. And High School Old Boy's going to run again. And a boot to ball. Underneath it is Wilson. Well, that went backwards. It went forward, but off the ground. It's allowed to bounce forward off the ground. Now that's, Maguire trying to get around Casey Wilson, like trying to run around the block. Here, good stuff. Some forwards, Tairāwhiti Stewart out there, I think, for Waikahu. It looks like Tairāwhiti Stewart. Adrian Wirral there with a fend. Adrian Wirral trying to slip the pass. Oh, great tackle there by Talent. Wouldn't let him slip the pass. Recognised the danger. Casey Wilson hard and straight. Just go hard and straight. Casey Wilson back in field. Calvin Smith. He's not tackled. Telly's tackled. Calvin Smith to ground. They set up. Broughton again. Held onto the low one off the top rope. Broughton there. And 33-0. Waikahu using the ball. Spreading the ball. 33-0. Waikahu continuing to come, continuing to play positively. Not resting on their laurels. Broughton made a couple of runs and a third one and gets a penalty here. High School Old Boys have to recover. They're not 10 metres back. They only have to go back as far as the goal line, remember. Well, what's happened here now? I heard another whistle there from referee Thomas. Player seems to be injured on the field, so they are going to wait. Time is off. And I think that's a very sensible decision by referee Thomas. I've never quite understood how it is that some referees can allow play to continue when a guy is so obviously hurt. I would like to see more of this, frankly. I think that's a good piece of refereeing. That Mike Tupai. That's an injury. These guys play the game in a good spirit, you know, the likes of Waikahu and High School Old Boys. They play the game the right way. Certainly be impressed by some of the skills that we've seen. The skills that we've seen, some of them have been very good. Scrum power's been very good. Line-out's been good contest. Fletcher Scammell's won some good ball for High School Old Boys. Calvin Smith was just amazing early in the game in particular. Very quick. Thinks twice as quickly as the next man. Makes good decisions. Game has been well run by these referees too. They haven't been a factor, Les Thomas and company. Under pressure now, High School Old Boys as Waikahu come forward at 33-0. Their best try-scoring opportunity so far in the second half of play. So 5 tries for our count from Waikohu. High School Old Boys looked likely early in the second half to score, but unfortunately just didn't spend enough time at the right end of the park. And now you'd be hoping for a huge touchdown the other end, try and get the ball to bounce into touch from here. That would take an enormous effort, almost impossible. Now Tane Maguire, beautifully balanced. Maguire, good hands, is that tough? Our Stuart got big legs. Looks like him, but it can't be so. And here's Jacob Leaf. Jacob Leaf with a short pass to Calvin Smith. Calvin Smith, could he get a ball up off the ground here? It would be a minor miracle. Waikohu are now penalised here by referee Thomas, and High School Old Boys have to get back on, well, get onto this situation very quickly. Get things moving very quickly. Longer it takes for them to set up, Waikahu a chance to get back. 33-0. Waikahu forwards, they are a brawny lot. They are big guys. Jeff Party, Jared Broughton, Mario Council calling for his boys to go up another notch. Man, how many notches are there? Some pretty big guys. Toru Nono, number 1. Wow. There's quite a disparity between 2 minutes left to play and 15 minutes. It's a pretty big jump. That's what we just heard down here. 15 minutes. Well, I'm not sure. No, I was just... I was listening in. Okay. The throw wasn't... The officials keep the time, and we trust the referees. That's impossible. No comment. And so 33 points to 0. High School Old Boys, can they get one? Just one. One. High School Old Boys have had to weather the storm. Waikohu set the scrum. Big guys on halfway. Good scrum there from Waikahu. The platform was well set. It's a lovely pass from Calvin Smith. Oh, a little risk associated with it, I suppose, but you don't try anything, nothing happens. Ball is loose. You've got to try things, and you can't criticise a guy on Tiny White opening day for playing some rugby. High School Old Boys now have the ball. Their chance to do something, but they've got to act quickly. Tamanui Hill, confronted by big, bulky Waikahu forwards. Hangs onto the ball. Waikahu drive them back in possession. High School Old Boys, 33-0 down at half-time, but the second half, they have been gutsy. They have been resolute and scrambled the ground, trying to protect the ball. They have played with enormous heart in the second half of play. They have been gutsy. Here's Alamoa, young player. Casey Wilson, big winger. Here's Casey Wilson, big winger, bang in Lamoa. He stood his ground. He was brave, so brave. Now Toru Nono, Uga Booga, down the middle there, Toru Nono, I love it. Some strong stuff. Calvin Smith accelerates now. Lovely pass to Jacob Leaf. And you know what it is? Every now and then Calvin Smith decides to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and that's exactly what he does. See him hit the ball at speed, lovely pass. Jacob Leaf has played with him long enough, knows his game well enough, sees this guy get to the line, he's got to back up, and support play there was excellent, and now 38 points to 0. That was the Waikahu captain of the defending champions, showing of what a kingdom he is the head. And now 38 points to 0. That was a marvellous piece of rugby. Wow. 38-0. I am enjoying myself. 38-0. Calvin Smith. And Calvin Smith, you know, one of the best things about this guy, they go to shake hands. Yeah, there'll be a cheeky grin. But the camaraderie between these teams is really, really good. 38-0 at the moment, likely to be 40. It'd have to be a major disaster to not go over. Okay, he gets it for 40-0. And Les Thomas has kept pace in the second half very well. He gets a pat on the back from Calvin Smith. Look, a magnanimous gesture. Appreciating that effort by Les Thomas. And these guys, people don't say thank you to them often enough. They haven't got anything nice to say, don't say it. These guys have done a very good job, these referees. Whole day today has been a success. And in 2008, the Tiny White medal, that first day was Michael Broadhurst. That gives you an idea of the calibre of people that have played in this competition. Young Hunter Jones out there now. Or rather Marshall, yes, it's Marshall, isn't it, the little fella. Blanket Marshall, tall boy out here on the wing, Marshall. On the wing for high school old boys. Takes a bounce, that's Mario Council. Who's coming next? Adrian Wirral. Really good balance from him too. Running hard! That was, well, Maguire now to Calvin Smith. What's what? Maguire's gone down, he's hurt. He's hurt, Maguire. Ball kicked ahead. Marshall trying to come forward. Okay, and the ball bounces out over the touchline. What happened to Maguire? Was that the leg muscle or something? He's gone. Man, it didn't look good. 40-0. But what that scoreline doesn't say is that it was 33-0 at halftime, and so high school old boys have only conceded one converted try in the second half. Brave, brave stuff. 40-0. High school old boys have won their own line-out ball. And that's one area of the game where they've been more than competitive. Their line-out has been very good, I think. I can't remember high school old boys losing a ball at the line-out. Another ball on the field. Scott Tallett hoofs it into touch. As now we've got a little lady and a rogue rugby ball in the in-goal area, and that's, well, that's community rugby, I suppose. It's just the way it is here. Finds touch. Is that 40-0? It is 40-0. It's been a hard game. Now, Waikahu certainly deserve enormous credit. They led 33-0 at half-time. Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby, but in as much as that's true, and you need two to tango, high school old boys' second half effort has been strong. Defensively has been really strong. Conceded only one try. Brilliant score by Jacob Leaf. $40-0. High school old boys penalty here. Scott Tallett holds the ball aloft. What can high school old boys spark up here? What can they come up with here? I don't think a line kick personally is the way to go. They can win the line out, but I would imagine that from there, even if they win the line out, Waikahu's back defence is hard to crack. They find touch. Their line out, as I said before, has been very good. But the defending champions have also shown great pride in the line. They have kept their own goal line intact. Look at that. Les Thomas with a hand on the supporting shoulder of Toru Noa. Oh, well, hey, what's Mario Council doing here? They're trying to pull a fast one on the high school old boys hooker because Jeff Party's got the ball now. And whose throw is it? Well, oh, that was brilliant. That's one of the best. Honestly, that Jeff Party and Mario Council trying to get one off high school old boys. That's some of the mischief of rugby. What did they used to call that? Devilment in the old days. Scott Tallett there. Had the ball. Well, that was amazing. You know, that's one of the funniest things of it. Mario Council ran over to, I think it was Waterson asking for the ball. Sometimes they make it sound so simple you believe it. Mario Council. There have been lighter moments in this game. 40-0, Mario down the blind side, accelerates now. Over to Casey Wilson, got to run hard and straight. Stepped on the touchline, Neville Bowick. Casey Wilson, I think it's quite refreshing to see a winger that doesn't possess of a step, just runs hard and straight. Nice, makes a nice change. Runs hard, runs straight. Both sides have shown some skill today, obviously in terms of number of opportunities. Waikahu, they throw the ball in, the ball's loose. Adrian Wirral makes a tackle at the back. Jeff Parry finishes him off. Man alive, did he finish him off. Okay, high school old boys punt the ball to touch. Wham! Well, that'll wake you up in the morning, boy. You've got to keep your eye on the action. I'm firmly of the belief that you've got to concentrate hard. 40-0. You're never safe. Hey, you want to try being in a crane and film rugby from there, you'll have something to moan about. 40-0 at the moment. Les Thomas checking with Neville Bowick as to the time. And possibly also the score. It's 40-0. Referees are the sole judges of law, time and fact. Les Thomas and Fred Bowick. Jeff Parry, a very good thrower of the ball usually. Jeff Parry to throw the ball into play. That's a wonderful throw there from Parry to Wirral. Waikahu, I thought I heard a phantom whistle there. Well, there was a whistle. It was next door. And now they've got a chance to burst away here, Waikahu. Chance to burst away. They punched Noa with the try there. 45 points to 0. Waikahu have had to work very hard for the 2 tries they've scored in the second half. And if you're high school old boys and you ask yourself at this point, what more can we get out of this game? To not concede a 3rd try. That's it. It helps with knowing how much time remains in the game. And the referees did confirm there, or confer rather. They didn't confirm, they conferred. And at the moment, 45 points to 0. 45-0. Calvin Smith on bended knee. Les Thomas. The atmosphere out there has been really good too. You know, between players and officials and teams. I think it's been a very good advertisement for what's going to be a marvellous season in Civil Project Solutions Premier Rugby. 45-0 at the moment. CPS Premier Rugby is wonderful. Oh, and that's a tired kick. But that's because the man has done so much. Even Calvin Smith at the end. 45 points to 0. And these guys, GT Shearing Waikahu, have come up with a win. 45 points to 0. The game is over. They led by, from memory, 33 points to 0 at half time. And in the second half of play, high school old boys with a heroic effort conceded only 2 tries in the first half, where from memory they had conceded 5 tries in the first half of play. That is courageous defensive play from high school old boys. And I think Danny Boyle and Wayne Ensel will look at these guys and say, hey, you played your hearts out. Our second half was a lot better. For Waikahu, obviously they were masters of the universe in the first half. And in the second half, they got across. But they had to work a lot harder. And despite the glut of possession and better field position, they never quite flattened the juice out of high school old boys, but they played so well anyway. Be interesting to see who the tiny white medalist is, because some of the names on the list, an illustrious list, go through this. Michael Broadhurst in 2008 of Ngārapa, Reece Thurston, no gutsier player ever wore a boys' high first 15 uniform. John Nopu from OBM, BJ Sydney in 2011 for YMP, Nick Butler 2012, 2013 David Philander came from Zim from memory, Sione Tamale 2014 lively player, Matt Mead whose son is a very good young footballer, Lockie these days at Napier boys, Ken Hokamo a legendary figure, a man of some grace, I would say. Jesse Fleming of Waikahu, Campbell Crispin Ngarapa, saw him running around earlier. Andrew Toa Tavalu, match winner, him 3 years ago. Then Ethan Reeves and Nico Loti. So it's an illustrious list of guys that have played. And I'd imagine whoever wins it this year, that medal, is going to have played very, very well.